supplier relationships require the nuance that humans bring. Okay, in order that we can do that, we need the AI to actually work. We need the artificial intelligence, the smart tech, Industry 4, Procurement 4 technology to support by taking away some of the manual tasks. It's going to do that anyway.
AI can have a lot of different benefits in handling relationship with suppliers. The ones I see at ManageU that can derive the most value is by making more data available to the buyer much faster. So having a shorter turnaround time to get up-to-date information. And perhaps more importantly, it's about surfacing patterns in your spend data that you would not have seen otherwise.
AI provides a powerful tool in terms of analyzing a vast amount of information and gives deeper insights into supply performance and potential risks. Essentially, it allows users to work more efficiently and saves time on manual processes such as cross-referencing information that you might need to make better informed decisions on. In the case of e-sourcing, we tend to encourage our clients to use the AI functionality to set up potentially RFPs for new categories, of which you could set up within minutes instead of like spending months on researching that particular category. It's a real game changer.
So you think of email, you think of documentation, you think of voice, you think of chat, all this different stuff. It's all unstructured data, and there's loads and loads and loads of value inherent in it. But it's hemorrhaged because it's not utilized. As I've said, we've spent years focusing on the numbers, looking down at the systemic data. Things are changing very, very fast. So think about your average supplier relationship or a supply chain ecosystem. That is, with all of those different mediums of data that I've just referred to, that's all unstructured data. So think about what Gen AI can do with that level of unstructured data in a compartmentalized, relevant way. If that data was structured into with a small s, because we're not trying to turn unstructured data into structured data, but if we could organize that data into something that we could then manage and measure, the opportunities are huge, huge.
If you spend less time chasing your data, cleaning it, and finding insights, it means you have more face time with your stakeholders to say, hey, that's what I have noticed in the spend patterns with that supplier. What do you think? What should we do? So more time engaging with your stakeholders to understand what is your position in that relationship, but also more time to engage with the suppliers and see what is the reason behind the pattern. If there is an issue, how can we find solutions? So overall, AI here will bring procurement and the stakeholder a lot closer and a lot more frequently in front of the supplier. And I mean, it's all about the relationship there. So the more time you spend together, the stronger the bond you can make.
It needs to take some of that more manual activity away, freeing up people to climb the value ladder, to do more of the creative engagement, to work in the nuance. That's what we're good at. That's where that's where supplier relationships flourish. Okay.
We know that AI can bring a lot of value to procurement, but the question is always, okay, how do I get there? Where do I start? And so rather than giving you a step-by-step roadmap, I would probably look first at three things. The first thing is, what's your pain point? Okay, where do you have issues? So you need to start understanding what are the things that could work better, that you could spend less time on to free up some time to invest in the relationship itself, not the preparation. So that first assessment of your situation and of your pain point, for me, is really the first starting block.
With any adoption of new technology, the key here is change management. Embrace the need for change management and first and foremost, identify your goals and metrics of successfully implementing and adopting AI. Keep in mind that every department, every discipline, every role will have a different need when it comes to AI.
80% or upward of 80% of a company's revenue is generated outside a company's immediate borders by its supply chain, by its suppliers. So how could something of such size not be an intrinsic part of digital transformation, i.e. the supplier relationship? And so it's very important to actually think of that relationship in a digital term, through a digital lens, and that is understanding the digital infrastructure, which is something that we do. Obviously, it's a Pico with a digital relationship layer, without going into details there, but it's the digital infrastructure that you first create with your supplier relationships in order that you can then use the Gen AI, the generative AI, to actually analyze that data to harness the value that lives within it.
The second thing, once you have understood your own situation, is to understand what AI is, because there's a lot of portmanteau word, of cliche, of a lot of things around AI, and everybody's talking about Gen AI, but that's just one of the tools in the toolbox. And until you've understood what it means, what it can do, what it cannot do, what it should not do, then you can start forming a more educated opinion on, hey, what can AI do for me, and where do I need to look? Because you might not need Gen AI, but rather invest in advanced neural network or in large language models. So until you get a baseline understanding of what is AI, what are the various components that all together make up AI, you have no chance of finding the right solution. So spend some time, meet some vendor, watch some YouTube videos, but get a better understanding of what AI is.
Choose curiosity over fear. Get your team on board early. Allow your employees to experiment with AI tools. I think it's really crucial to invest in training. And with that in mind, I would say assess and reassess your AI needs. AI is evolving and advancing every minute. Learning to work with AI will be a continuous process, not just a one-time training session.
And the third aspect is putting it all together, but putting it all together in a way that will work for your company. We all want to do AI in one way, shape, or form, but the right way will be very dependent on what your company as a whole can stomach and how it ticks. So that would be the third and probably the more important piece of advice. So
AI, in my experience, as mentioned earlier, is a powerful enabler where we've already discussed that it can analyze a vast amount of information in a very short period of time. It isn't, however, going to replace human interaction. Human oversight remains crucial to building meaningful and trusted relationships. This isn't something that can be replaced by technology.